Yep.
And so, let's just fight, and I'll show you how I fight sometimes if I want to utilize the neutral game.
So would you say Shinbop hitting the ground and backing off is using the neutral game as well? Is that the same concept?
Kind of. You'll see here that I'm not playing the turn-based game with you.
Yeah, you're just waiting for me to do stuff.
Exactly.
Cool.
So you see, because I have a faster weapon, I can sort of predict what you're going to do, and then when you do it, I can, I can do something at the same time, or even with a little bit of leeway, I can do it slightly after, and then still hit you before you hit me.
Sure.
And that's the advantage of this. So what you need to do is you need to play reactionary a little bit more, which means just go for those ripostes and stuff, and also hold block less. What I want you to do is fight more in the Goldilocks zone. Do you know what the Goldilocks zone is?
Nope.
It's the zone where you can hit me and I can't hit you.
Okay, sure.
So I want
I definitely have a bad habit of just fighting people straight up and thinking that I can overcome that skill gap.
It's
right, because when you fight about
a skill gap, it's also just like
not a skill gap, but just the matchup that like I can overcome the fact that your class kind of counters mine, or at least the way we're fighting it counters.
Yes. So you see there, I know when you're going to attack, and then when you start an attack, I start mine, but I hit you first. You can't attack me when I'm in that zone to where I can run up to hit you. So you see how you're almost out of stamina and I barely touched you?
Yeah, I'm doing probably more dodges and stuff. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
So, it feels sometimes like you're safe, when you do stabs from that range and everything, but you're not. So, I say this as bluntly as I could, but be more familiar with when an enemy is capable of running up and attacking you, or jabbing you, or interrupting your combo, and when you're capable of hitting them. Because you're missing a lot of attacks, but at the same time you're starting attacks and I'm able to hit you.
So should I just be backing up like 24/7 to keep us in my range? Or
if you're going to get close, you have to be better at reacting. But if you're farther, you don't have to do that. So when you're blocking here, riposting is a good idea. And sometimes you don't even have to feint, but just the normal riposte will be enough. But do you see how this is a lot harder to predict than, your typical, your typical back and forth counter game? This makes it a lot harder.
So okay, so at this range, we're up like this right here, and you're just waiting. With that weapon and my weapon, is to the point where you can see me start an attack and you can get an attack in before that? Like, it's that big of a difference?
Yes.
Okay.
You can't start an attack from this range that we're standing at now and not expect me to run up and stab you.
Yeah, you're just going to punish any decent or any good player is just going to punish that every time.
And it's not even just with one-handed weapons. Even if I'm using a slow weapon, I would run up and jab you.
Sure.
So it's mainly being afraid of those and getting at the range to where you don't get affected by that. Even that range is unsafe.
I thought I was good there.
No.
Yeah.
It's like you're very rarely completely safe. And finding that Goldilocks zone where you're completely safe against that weapon and they can't do anything against you is what you need to be able to do more often. Now in team objective, this is going to be easier for you because this class is very good in a 1v1, but in this subclass, like low key and TO sucks.
Sure.
It does. Like straight up, it just sucks.
Should I be dodging more out of like? I feel like I'm just using more stamina. I
Yeah,
don't.
so when you're dodging with the actual dodge button, that uses a lot of stamina. I want you to try and dodge attacks more without actually pressing the button, but by moving your character more.
Oh, sure.
Because that costs nothing, and then you can make a follow-up.
Gotcha.
When you dodge with the dodge button, not only are you using stamina, but it also limits your follow-up ability. So that's why I say, you know, limit that.
Sure, because you're also playing range in terms of if I'm dodging backwards, you're fine with that because you can just stay out of my range and come back in whenever you feel comfortable.
Exactly. And also, don't do those against. This is only an ambusher thing, though. Like, if you miss like that regularly, I'm just gonna throw a thorn at.
Right, or if you start spamming combos, yeah.
You see, you cannot afford to miss.
Oh, he had me. Ah, Jesus.
It's very hard
Yeah,
to
that's
fight
brutal.
this class.
Yeah.